Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we would be talking about a revolutionary event that happened last month. As you can see from this image, we would be talking about the landing of Perseverance on Mars. Before we talk about this landing that happened last month, let's go back to history and see about the previous Mars expeditions. So Mars, the red planet, was always a source of curiosity towards human. We were always very drawn towards it and we always wanted to explore more about it. It's the closest planet to us in our solar system and it holds a lot of secrets that we wanted to explore. The first proper mission towards Mars could be laid on to Mariner 3 and 4, which actually happened on 1964. Both these spaceships were launched on 1964. And the aim was to visit not only Mars but also Mercury, Venus, and then again coming back to Mars and Venus for closer observations. Unfortunately, Mariner 3 couldn't launch properly and actually exploded just after launch. So the mission actually failed. But Mariner 4, it actually was a successful mission, and Mariner 4 was the first spaceship which went very close to Mars and took pictures of Mars. Then in the successive years, there were a lot of missions, notably Mariner 6 and 7, which both launched on 1969. There were Mariner 8 and 9, launched on 1971, and also Viking 1 and 2 on 1975. Just for note, here Viking 1 and 2 also holds a special place in history because this was the first mission which landed safely on the surface of the Mars. So the previous missions, or uh, all of them, basically orbited around Mars or went close to the Mars, but none actually landed safely on Mars. So Viking 1 and 2, basically the first mission which landed safely on the surface and obviously took much better pictures of the Mars and send it to Earth for more further research. So then there's one word that we have all heard, right? Rovers. So what exactly was rover? So these were all kind of spaceships that can orbit the Mars or just can land and see some pictures, send some pictures to Earth. But then basically NASA scientists were keen to develop a specific kind of spaceship which can actually wander around in the grounds of Mars, on the surface of Mars. So it's the primary goal is not just to land on Mars, but actually to go from one place to another and then experiment with the soils, the rocks, the weather, and all of these things. So this is how rover came to the picture. The first rover was Pathfinder, which was launched on 1996. Though the mobility was not that great, which was kind of I won't say fixed, but the mobility actually was far ahead for Spirit and Opportunity. So these two rovers, kind of twin rovers, were launched on 2003, and both of these rovers kind of like landed on two opposite sides and actually explored the surfaces. Recently, in recent years, you could say Curiosity is another rover that came to the news for its a lot of things that it actually did. The picture that you can actually see in the background was something that Curiosity took, and it was actually not only this picture, but one of the things for which we all remember Curiosity, or we will be remember Curiosity in future also, is to actually get very damning evidence of water. So now we know that water was present in Mars, at least in some part of its history. So Curiosity basically collected a few rocks where we have found a few minerals which couldn't exist without the presence of water. So the curiosity basically kind of gave us the evidence that water existed in Mars, which is very very important. You have to remember that water is kind of prerequisite for any kind of life form, at least the life forms that we know. So by actually uh, getting this evidence that in Mars also there was water, we are kind of hoping that there could be primordial lives or ancient lives present in Mars, at least at some point of its history. So after Curiosity, so Curiosity was actually launched in 2011, and it's still in its mission, by the way. Just to let you know, so in the previous missions, it was usually battery operated, but the Curiosity was the first rover which actually got its energy from a radioactive decay. So I think plutonium was used, and the energy got from is from actually the decaying of plutonium, which is a radioactive material. And because of this actually it didn't shut down like the span of this rover actually increased a lot due to this kind of energy efficiency that it got. It's not completely solar, like it's not dependent on solar, and thus it's actually still functioning. And it's yet to be like dysfunctional. It's still sending us images from the surface of Mars. Now to Perseverance. So Perseverance is also a rover in a way, and it was launched on basically July 30, 2020. So usually what happens is like though we say Mars is a lot closer to Earth, but still it's not that close as well. So that's why what happens is like there's a very very minimal time window when both Earth and Mars come very close to one another, because you have to understand that they are spinning at different speeds as well, right? First of all, obviously every orbit is elliptical, but not only elliptical, their speeds are different. Like the rotation speed of Earth is not equal to the rotation speed of Mars. Earth takes around 365 days to rotate Sun once, whereas Mars take around 687, 688 days. So obviously, the rotation speeds are not same, and due to this, there's a very small time window when both of these planets come very close to each other. And usually, what happens, any space missions that are basically being aimed at exploring Mars or anything, they are actually launched based on this time window. So it was launched on July 30, and usually it took around 7 months to reach Mars. So this is the closest that we get basically the 7 months journey. So just last February, 18th February to be exact, Mars Perseverance actually landed on Mars. The mission duration is expected to be 1 Martian year. As I said, 1 Martian year is close to around 2 Earth years, 687 days, Earth days to be exact. But usually, this is the minimum that we expect. But usually, the rovers can stay much longer. Again, the kind of energy it got is again from radioactive decay, same that as of Curiosity. So we expect it to be actually remain much longer in Mars. Now, one of the basic, so also just to mention, the right hand side picture that you can see is actually the 3D model of the rover Perseverance that have been sent to Mars. Now, one of the other things is exactly why we have sent this. Like, what are the main objective of this particular mission? And it's actually very significant. Like previously we have taken pictures of it, have sent kind of geologists. These rovers can be thought of as geologists because they experimented with rock and soil. But this time Perseverance will do something more. One of the first thing it will do is sample for microbe. It will collect the samples of soil first of all, and not only it will test for microbes and other organisms, primordial organisms, but it will also store these samples in itself. And later on, NASA has planned for another Mars mission where those samples will be collected and brought back to Earth. This is something important because till date we do not have anything that was brought back from Mars. This would probably the first instance where it could be done. Also, apart from this sample from microbe, so there's also an helicopter that has been sent along with this rover. So we will be actually kind of demo. We would get to see a demo of flying this helicopter. The significance is like we haven't actually uh, flown anything in Mars atmosphere. So Mars atmosphere is much lighter than Earth. So in one side, it's easier to actually defy gravity. Again, gravity is also much less, the gravitational force. So in one side, it's actually much easier to defy gravity since the force is much lesser. But at the same time, since the atmosphere is so light, it's actually it's also very hard to maintain the pressure. So basically, when helicopters fly, it has to basically give some downward force by sending air downwards, right? So in light air, in very light atmosphere, it's very hard to run a helicopter or plane. So we this helicopter has been specifically built for this purpose, for this kind of atmosphere, and we will kind of test run this helicopter in Mars. So this is something that is again something new, something we have been trying for the first time. But apart from this helicopter, we this mission has also some other implications. Right now, we have around 7 billion people, more than 7 billion people in Earth, and the population is becoming one of the growing problems. And actually, one of the other thing that we are trying to look for is habituating outside of Earth. The possibilities, actually exploring the possibilities of living outside of this planet. And that's why there would be a couple of experiments geared towards that idea. So in this mission there would be two other experiments that would be done. First of all, it would be tested because Mars is like abundant with CO2. So there's a lot of CO2. One of the reason you see that red is because of its rock, obviously, and also because of the amount of carbon dioxide is there in that atmosphere. So one of the thing that we would experiment with is to convert that atmospheric CO2 to liquid oxygen. So this is this is one experiment that would be done this time on Perseverance. And the other would be to actually since this rover will be there for a long time, hopefully more than 1 to 2 years, we would be also observing the weather, and also we would actually test out different kinds of fabrics against that weather. So this is another important point. And all this might seem very small experiments, but these all experiments are geared towards actually understanding more about Mars, so that in future we can explore the possibility of probably living there. So you might have all seen the movie The Martian, but to be fair, we are actually trying to replicate some of those things that people have seen in that those kind of movies, actually exploring the idea of actually living in Mars and habituating there. So this is the first picture. I actually wanted to show you this because this was the first picture after Perseverance landed on Mars. This is a picture of Mars, obviously, on daylight. And this is another picture. So uh, Perseverance was landed on Zezero crater. It's one of the crater over there. And the reason it was landed specifically at that region was because we suspect that it was a lake long time back. So we are kind of hoping to find more evidence of not only water but microbes as well at that delta region. And this was actually cut out from a panoramic view of that region. So, but this is, yeah, this is another picture from Mars. Also, what I would suggest, these all pictures are thanks to NASA and Jet Propulsion Laboratory in NASA. So I would implore you, if you are really interested about learning more about this Mars expedition, or even actually see these images, because just think about it, these are images from Mars itself. There are images, there are videos as well, and some audios of that weather and everything over there. If you are interested in that kind of multimedia files, you should go and visit NASA's website, NASA's official website, and also NASA's own YouTube channel. Probably it's JPL's channel, Jet Propulsion Laboratories channel, where you could actually see a few videos that have been taken on Mars, and those are basically updated pretty regularly. So you should keep a tab on those. Okay, guys, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this this particular video, and we will try to do something similar in the future as well. Thank you all. We will meet again. Thanks.